Here are 4 custom actions for Reaper I made using Python, Lua, and Reascript. I made these to help with my workflow doing sound design for video games. Mostly they help with if there's something tedious and repetitive, they'll automate it. I'll give a demo of each of the 4 actions and then go back and break them down a little more in case maybe you're doing something similar and seeing a little bit how these work might help. All right, first up is finding a region. So here I have, as I often do, a giant session full of dialogue. Each VO line has a region. And say I'm in the script and I want to jump from the script. Here's the name of the file for this line. Say I want to jump to that in the session. I can Control-C copy it, click on Find Region, and it'll jump straight to that line in my session. I can also do this from the right-click menu. So here's all the actual audio files in the game, one for each line of dialogue. And let's look at this one. I'll right-click on it. This is a command that I added to the right-click menu, Find in Reaper. There, jump straight to that line in the session. Now for pull script. This one kind of goes in reverse. Say I'm working on this line, editing it, and I want to refer to the script, but I don't have it open. Pull script will find that character in the master script and create a new document that is just that character. And it, see how line number 9 is bold? That is because line number 9 is the one my edit cursor was closest to. Next up is an action that removes the .wave extension from any region names in the project. So check out the region list over here. Wave, 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 wave. Hit the button. They're all gone. Saves me a lot of time. Next up is incrementing the number at the end of a batch of region names. Often I'll have a batch of sounds with numbers that increment like this. And say this is all one new batch. I just have to name the first one with the starting number. Click this button. It fills in the rest. And it can even do it if I start in the middle. I don't have to start at 1. I can start at 15, and it will fill in the whole. All right, so now I'll do a walkthrough of each of the 4 actions and go into more detail. I'll still move kind of quick though, so you'll need to pause it if you really want to look at the code. So here I've got a folder with thousands of lines of dialogue, and let's say I want to jump straight from this file to that line of dialogue in my giant Reaper session. I can do that from the right-click menu because I added this action, Find in Reaper. I added that in the registry editor. It's just kind of quickly added to all software. Is going to give you this option in the right-click. And here's the command it runs. It tells Python, right here, to run this file. And it feeds that file with the %1. It feeds it the file name and path that we right-clicked on. So let's see what happens in that Python script. First, we import everything we need. Then this line grabs that information about file name and file path. We remove the file path, remove any extensions from the file name, and then copy it to the clipboard because we are going to jump to another script. This line triggers a custom action inside of Reaper, and it's really cool that that's possible. Thanks to the Beyond Reaper module, we were in Explorer, right-clicking on things, and now we are triggering a custom action inside Reaper. This right here just brings the Reaper window into focus since that's where we want to look now. So let's see what happens inside the Lua script that's triggered right here. Back in Reaper, there's the script. Okay, it grabs the name from the clipboard, does some formatting if necessary, and then searches all the regions. Here's like a loop. It's going to jump through every region trying to find a match. Then it moves the edit cursor to that region and stops. So let's see it in action. Let's look for Dr. Prune 001. Find in Reaper. And here it opened Reaper and jumped straight to that line. Now the pull script action, which I made for when I'm editing a lot of lines of dialogue and need to refer to the script. It looks at the VO line that I'm working on in the moment and finds out the region name and the character name, uses that information to pull that character's lines from the giant master script and create this new document, this nice new document that's just the one character's lines. And it makes the one line that the edit cursor was on in Reaper bold, in case that's useful. All right, let's see how it works. The pull script button triggers this action. It's a Lua script. And in this custom Lua script, I pull the ultrashall. This is like API functions that make it easier for me to get what region is closest to the edit cursor. And that kind of comes back in a weird formatted string with 3 lines, and I only want the last line. So I use this table to just grab the name, Angus LM Heap 007. That's all we want for searching in the Excel document. So we copy that name to the clipboard, and now we're going to jump to this Python script. And that's what I search Excel with. Here's the Python script. First, I import all the modules I need for this script, and then refer to that clipboard to get the region name, take off any extension like .wav or .mp3 that might be built into that name, and then use that name to search this document. This is the master script. Let me show it to you. This is like a script I would get from the writers on a game I used to work on. And it's just a huge document with thousands and thousands of lines and 3 different sheets and all the characters. So I want to parse through that and get just my characters' lines. So I've got the file name, I've got the master script, here's my new workbook I'm going to create, and here's all that searching. This logic is very proprietary on the formatting of that master script. However it happens to be formatted, this works for me. I'm searching for the character's name, searching for all the lines of that character, finding that exact line that our edit cursor was on in Reaper, and then formatting the new document, the column widths, and making certain things bold. Then I save the document and open it so I can see it. And that's how we get from one click of this pull script button through Reaper, through Lua, through Python, out of Excel into this new document. Next up is this remove.wave action, which is useful because in my workflow, at least, a lot of times I'm dragging in wave files into a Reaper session and I want to re-export them. Maybe it's like a batch processing kind of thing. I've put effects on them. I highlight them, do create regions, which is an SWS simple action. And here they're all named, which is great, but they all have this .wave extension on the end. So let's see what this action does for me. It's a custom Lua script right here. And it's pretty simple. It counts all the project regions, that call it markers in this code, but it looks at all the regions and cycles through them, replacing .wave with essentially nothing. So they're deleting .wave from the names if it exists. Here's what that looks like. Boom. Another workflow that comes up a lot, especially in game development, is needing to export a batch of sounds that are all numbered at the end of the file names. Maybe it's a batch of dialogue lines that are all in order, or a batch of variations of one sound, as is the case here. We have a bunch of sounds for bullet, hit, metal, surface. Now, one way to do this in Reaper is to render it out with a wildcard in the file name, like $region number. But that will give all the regions in your project one sequence of numbers. And in my sessions, I often have many batches of sounds: plasma, shotgun, heavy. So my solution for that is a custom Lua script. Let's see how it works. All right, so let's say we've got these metal ones, and I have made a new batch right here at the beginning that needs names. These are going to be for hitting glass. So this script grabs the ultrashall function, so I can get, as long as I have this first one selected, it'll get the name of that region that's near the edit cursor, and it uses that to name the rest of them. But first we need to break this name into the base name and the number. That's done around here. Yeah. We have base name and num. Now with those two values, we can go through this loop. It will jump down the timeline from region to region, naming them until it hits one that already has a name, then it stops. And here's the actual naming. It uses base name and then adds that starting number plus 1 every time. So let's see it. And that was the last action. We're done. If you found this helpful at all, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.